This is a Frank podcast.
This Warriors Life podcast 2026, episode 37. Will, Brad, and right now, Fonzie. There he is. Back with you again after a very impressive win. Exciting ahead of the blockbuster against Penrith this Friday. Brought to you by Kingz Container Crew, of course, the best container crew outfit out there for all your container packing and unpacking solutions. Head to kingscontainercrew.com and hit the Work With Us tab for a job with those guys. Also, PlaceMakers, experts in the trade since 1981. Best trade range in New Zealand by a mile. And the you'll know how can-do people. And ComfortGlaze, our newest partner of this Warriors Life, supporting our coverage of Warriors lower grades junior teams and next-gen talent. The retrofit double-glazing experts, timber and aluminium, branches in Christchurch, Hamilton, Auckland. And yeah, head to comfortglaze.co.nz for a free quote. Select This Warriors Life in the How'd You Hear About Us section, and you get a discount from those legends there at ComfortGlaze. So, yeah, thanks to all our sponsors, supporters, partners, and to you guys. Welcome back. Welcome back, Brad. Had a week off, dragging yourself in here with a back injury. So we appreciate your presence. But yeah, how you shaping up, mate?
Yeah, good. The fingers on the mend, but like you said, the back is a little bit. I do these. It's like I've got Tourette's at the moment. I get these pulses up my back. But yeah, I tried to went to lift the trailer off the back of the ute, didn't I, boys? And all the faff and paff that goes on with unhooking a trailer anyway. I got to lift the latch to actually once I'd done the brakes and the D-shackle, and I thought it was off, so I went ahead and tried to lift a Ford Ranger and a trailer off the ground, and just sent an absolute jolt. Took me to both my knees too. 2 knees on the ground, hugging a trailer arm. Yeah, so she's been a quiet couple of days around the house. Hopefully I come right, but yeah, hasn't been fun. And the thing is, when I was lying there, sorry, we'll get to you in a minute, Fonz. But as I was lying there, I was like, fuck, thinking in my head, my finger, and now my back. I was like, shit, bad things happen in threes. Well, half an hour later, I'm pulling out of this joint with 2 ton of topsoil on the trailer. And kid you not, as I pull out onto the street, a black cat runs across in front of me. And I thought, wow, here we go. This is it. I'm going to take someone out with 2 ton of topsoil going down the road. But nothing's happened yet. Still waiting.
You strike me as a superstitious type, Brad. I'm guessing you avoid walking under ladders. Don't really shattering a mirror.
Ones. Oh, sorry, Fonz. How are you, mate? Do you avoid walking under ladders, Fonz?
I have heard of that. No, I think I do have a bit of a thing when I see one. I don't know. I just give it a bit of a berth. I don't know.
Like if I don't have to, I won't walk under it. Like sometimes I have to walk under a ladder. Yeah,
I probably wouldn't cross the road if there was no other room. But if I could just step around, I would. Yeah.
Like I reckon you can outrun karma too. You just got to get through there quick. Like karma's pretty slow before it realizes it knows what's going on. That whole superstition, you just got to do it quick.
Yeah,
anyway, what have you been up to, Fonz?
Oh, mate, I've been lying low. I've been, as you know, I've been fighting off this flu, and it's been a real Ben Hunt of a month, I've got to tell you. But I feel like I'm coming out the other side of it now, so coming back into form, a bit like the Wahs.
Mid-season slump, was it, Fonz?
Oh, mate, something like that. Yeah.
Bit of post-origin malaise. Speaking of, we are back in form. 42-6 over the Titans. Season high 8 tries, 26-6 at halftime. Yeah, we were a bit doom and gloom. I know, certainly off air, Brad, we were really dreading this one against the Titans, and needn't have worried. Piece of cake. Just got on top immediately. Early try. Ding dang do.
Flaming piston.
Win.
Yeah. Easy. Yeah, that was surprise. I was nervous. I had spoken to Will midweek, Fonz, and it was like, this is one of those ones you do not dare invite someone around to watch with you.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Especially if they're just a fair weather fan or something, you're like, oh, nah, this could go horribly wrong. But Christ, everything just clicked on the day, didn't it? Everything come up Millhouse. It was a ripper.
Yep, they did it. They did it in style, and they look good doing it. So credit where it's due. They were excellent. I've got to tell you boys something before we get into it. I know why this happened. Right, so the missus has been talking about going to Japan, and it's been really hard to work out dates with her work and my work and kids' holidays and all that. So last week she said, "Look, the only date that's got direct flights that are in budget for this trip, where we can still go this year, leave on the Saturday of the long weekend. Are you okay for me to book the flights?"
Day before grand final.
Grand final. And I said, yes, as long as you understand that if they do make the grand final, I might be joining you 2 days late. And, she said, well, what do you reckon the odds of that are? And I said, less than 10% at this point. And she's gone ahead and booked the flights. So
is she taking the kids?
Yeah, we're all going. So
no, but prior, you're not stuck in Aussie with one straggler or something, are you?
Look, mate, I mean, I don't even want to think about, having to actually pull the ripcord on that. So I'm just going to pretend I don't have that problem for the next little while.
But I think I'm sure that the grand final, Brad and I will come crash to your place for the weekend, Fonz.
That's exactly where I'm at, Will. I was like, shit, there's a couple of spare bedrooms all of a sudden, at least a spare side to a bed. That's great news.
Webby got wind that I was going to be able to pocket a few grand if that happens, so, and have an angry wife, so he's just revved them up and off we go. So.
Well, I don't mind it at all, though, Fonz, to be honest, if that's what it takes.
That makes me more confident that the Warriors will make it.
We need to start making plans for grand final day.
For first impressions, overarching takeaways from that one, boys?
It was the most enjoyable watch I think I've had, or every moment I enjoyed of that game, and I can't remember, it must be a few years since I've sat so comfortably on my couch and just enjoyed Warriors. That was my initial, without looking, I don't look deep into games, everyone knows that, but yeah, that was what I took away. Fonzie?
Well, I mean, so I watched it on a phone at a kids' party with like 10 people around, so I didn't really watch it properly live. And then I've been able to watch a replay in bits, 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there since then. And my takeaway is, I mean, I was watching a different team play a totally different game to the week before. So, I mean, partly it was our guys were just, like last week we came out of the tunnel, low energy, weak in collision, slow line speed, all that stuff. This week flipped around, flying off the line, high energy, big contact. Everyone was up for it. So that was awesome. But the way the game was reffed was completely different. I mean, go back and watch that first 20 minutes. It's the fastest ruck you'll ever see. Wade Egan's basically just running at will, and it's a Big Ten, and so I'm back to this thing where how much of that was us, because there was some of it that was us, and how much of it was that this ref decided we were going to play round 1 to 12 ruck interpretation instead of last week against the Dogs where we played 2015 ruck interpretation. You know what I mean? Like it was a.
Who was the ref again? Remind me of the ref on duty.
I don't actually know who it was on the weekend. I forgot.
It was kind of an unfamiliar looking joker, wasn't it?
Yeah. So is it not an old schooler? Do you reckon there's some, depending on how long they've been around the game, they're reffing it a bit different, these boys?
Yeah. It seems to be more of a trend across the NRL, but you sent me something from the excellent Rugby League eye test, Fonz, about the averages per round, and it was that almost like a really clear cutoff compared to the first 12 rounds of the season. But that game of ours seemed to be a bit different. I don't know if it was across the whole round. Was a bit. Matthew Wood saying ref was on debut. Good Jared Cole. But yeah, so nine ruck infringement restarts, and I think a few inside the 10s as well. It was compared to the week before. There's so many more. We're actually finished on the wrong side of it, but I think just that overall quick ruck, sort of worked in our favour.
So I mean, on that, I'm just not to go into this too much, but the eye test put up a chart that basically shows between rounds 1 to 13, if you took those games, the average number of set restarts in a game was something like 9 to 10, right? And then since round 14, the average has been something like 6, right? So they've gone down a lot. On the weekend, we had 9. The week before against the Bulldogs, there were 3. All right, so 3 was low even by the way it's been reffed now. 9 was more like how it was reffed in the first half a dozen rounds. So yeah, it is having. I just can't get away from that. Is going to decide in part how deep we go this year, whether we get a ref who's playing the fast ruck rule or the slow ruck rule. And I still can't understand how Andrew G ran such a slow ruck the week before, notwithstanding that we were flat and it didn't matter. I don't think it mattered what Andrew G did that week. We were still going to lose that game because we just weren't on. So
would it be that differently adjudicated than, say, State of Origin series? How was that reffed?
Origins a bit different. They always ref.
Do they do it different, completely different as well compared to our finals?
Well, Origins just played so quickly. Like the ref is less likely to blow a penalty in Origin or give away a set of 6 again because of the impact in a big game like that. But it's just played so fast anyway because the players are just that quick and everyone's moving so fast that I think Origin's sort of its own animal. It's hard to compare. But there you go. So he's done that. He's done that graph there, and we're in the orange section now, the back end of the year, where you can see, on average where we've stepped down. But on the weekend we had 9, so that would be, more like the first half of the year. And that game with only 3, right? You can see how that's below the average of any round all year. That there would be only 3 set restarts in our game. So it's definitely part of the picture, but probably the least interesting, maybe most important part.
Yeah, because the one thing I found real interesting about that game in the weekend was how fucking good was Stowers Smith in the open, 45 metres, gathering up a bit of a loose ball, storming down. There was just so many rad moments during that game of boys being out in the open. It was that, I don't know if it's that ground that sort of allows it as well. It's a nice free flowy setup, isn't it, on the Gold Coast for some reason?
And against a quick team that usually thrives in those conditions and has done against us, it was good to see us making all the running. Khan Pereira in open spaces, just cruising around like it's just a game of sevens. It was brilliant. We obviously steamrolled them, and you could tell that just from watching the game. But the stats were incredible. 2,311 run meters to 1,501. I don't know if that was the most by any team this year, but it was certainly our most, and a colossal figure by any measure. Dominated post-contact meters. Looking at the individuals, obviously, Charnze coming in helped with that as well. But 253 meters. That was far more than he's managed this year in any game. Dallin was just off his season high with 224. Then he had Ali Leatawa 174, Leka Halasima 147, Chanel 134 meters, Kurt Capewell 118. That was all season highs for those boys. And Tanner Stowers-Smith, you just mentioned, Brad, 177 meters. That was just short of his season best. And then you had Eddie Iramea Taiava 191 meters in a career best breakout performance. So the boys just had a field day.
You've been on about Eddie a bit, and I hadn't seen much. I don't know why I hadn't seen what you had seen, but has he played much in the middle? Because in the middle in the weekend, geez, he looked sharp. He was dominant there and super strong. Is he a back rower or a centre, or do you reckon he might swing more to the middle?
Well, he's played a fair bit of back row, mostly back row in New South Wales Cup this year. As I think in NRL, he's mostly been chucked on in the middle. He filled in at centre really well, I thought, against, was it the Dolphins when we had a bit of a mid-game reshuffle? He has played NRL trials at centre, so he's a versatile type. I think he might, it might be with Leka playing centre. If that continues, it might open up a spot in the 17 for Eddie to sort of be a bit of a hybrid.
Kid's got a motor on
him. Super impressive.
Yeah.
Big talking point, obviously, Leka playing centre. I thought he was fantastic. Had some big moments. Great to see him enjoying his footy again. He's looked like a frustrated footballer for a lot of the year, and scored a try, great try assist. That was beautiful, quick hands, and just reveling in that extra space. He's also 3 tries from 3 starts as an NRL centre. Just the finals game against the Panthers last year, Newcastle earlier this year, and then that one. Boys, do we just stick with Leka at centre, with Pompey obviously struggling for form in the lead up to that game and benched in a late change? Was it more of a circuit breaker, do you think, or is Leka there to stay for the rest of the season?
Fonzie?
Well, I mean, he was good there on the weekend. You definitely feel like running with it again, but I mean, if Leka's not going to work at centre, it's going to be because a team who knows he's going to play centre targets him and he gets his defensive reads wrong. Right, that's going to be the test for him. So we might see that this week. We might see Penrith go after him, and whether he gets his defensive reads right is going to decide, I think, whether he's a genuine option at centre going forward.
Who was he up against this weekend?
Be up against Isaac Tungo, I think. McLean and Leotawa was that mismatch when we played last time.
That's right. It was a difference, wasn't he, McLean, in that one?
Just about, yeah. But yeah, no, I'm all for Leka at centre. I mean, it could backfire, but certainly I think it was worth with a gamble and to get Leka more minutes. I mean, we saw Cape and Laban play 80 or near enough to 80 on the weekend. They're more than capable of doing that, and if we've got Eddie in the squad, then he's great edge cover as well. I'm a big fan.
Leka's had a bit of fizz about him since he's come back. He sort of drip fed a couple of games minutes-wise to him, and he's come on quite energetic, isn't it? And he carried that on. He's had that same energy this weekend. Hopefully he can keep that energy up. And like Ryan said in the comments there, run Leka at centre until he's not good enough to be a centre. Like, I think we just run him at the moment. We know what we're going to get from Pompey. Let's roll the dice and see what we can get out of Leka.
Yeah, I am going to. Sorry, Fonz. I will use this opportunity to bring up our no ugly salty moment of the week. And it was hard to get a salty moment out of the fan base because they're so pumped with the win.
Who's the negative Nelly here?
Well, I wouldn't say it was so negative, but it does relate to what we're just talking about. Judd's come in, not off the back fence, just sauntered in, sort of, off a 2-step run up, and said, "Salty moment was why haven't we used Leka at centre more?" Well, it's certainly worked each time. And if you're not familiar with No Ugly Salty Moment of the Week, No Ugly makes scientifically formulated functional beverages, and No Ugly Salty is a replenishing isotonic hydration drink. There's one. Brad's modelling it there. And they're giving away a case to a listener every week. That's 12 times 500ml cans. So brilliant stuff. We've got a lot of happy customers. Just shout out to Simon, long-time listener, recent No Ugly winner. He's pumped with his box that arrived today on his 40th birthday, no less. So happy birthday, Simon. We love you, mate.
Smash a dozen of them on your 40th.
Yeah. It'll be so right.
You'll be hydrated until June next year.
Yeah. But yeah, get your No Ugly Salty moments of the week entries in, message us wherever, and you could be in to win a box of those. They're bloody good. So thank you, No Ugly, and congratulations, Judd. You got the win, mate. You've had a couple of near misses lately. So we met Judd down here at the Christchurch game. Good fella.
Oh, we did. Yeah. Attaboy. Good shit, Judd. Oh, what do you reckon? What's your honest feeling on that whole situation at centre there, Fonz? Are you a fan of Leka there, or would you go back to Pompey? Or
couldn't drop him after last week, and we're going to find out against Panthers, I think, because Ivan will go after him. They'll throw some shape at him, and he'll either handle it or he won't. And so I think that's where you go with that. I think the other question is, if Tane's back, what are you doing at fullback?
Oh yeah, I mean, where the side of the fence where I've sat on this for a while, Fonz, and I've been loving Tane's season that he's put together. I'm super happy for him to cement that spot, and I think he's deserved it. But geez, that was pretty compelling from Charnze. Obviously a game that suits us for him to fire. We made 2,300 meters, And he was just on, he was on fire. He was great. Line break, pushing up in support, big runs. He was very strong at the back. Error free. It was great to see for a great servant for the club like Charnze. Different game this weekend, and we'll see whether that sort of translates. And his sort of limitations in attack weren't really a factor last weekend, because we're finding it pretty easy to score tries when we're not, and we're looking for a point of difference. And that's probably when you're looking for tame. But yeah, that big strong body, it was Charnze at his best, and I certainly wouldn't be unhappy to see him there again, even if Tane is sort of named somewhere in the 19.
Yeah, I'd be happy to stick with him. His tenacity was a welcome addition to that team in the week. You forgot about the fight he's got in him and just that little bit of extra strength. He's a welcome addition at this point of the season. I'm a fan of Tane as well, but I wouldn't mind chucking the jersey to Charnze again this weekend.
I couldn't drop him. Couldn't drop him. And I liked he made a nice little line break off a short Egan ball through the middle of the ruck. Now, again, we may not get that kind of ruck again, to your point, Will, and he was on the end of catch and pass on the right side a couple of times. I thought he was good. I just also feel like, again, if the ruck is slowing down and we're going back to a slower interpretation in a lot of games, I'll probably rather have Charnze in that world. So
I think it works well when our whole spine is firing, when Egan's on fire. And I thought, that was the best collective performance from Chanel and Tamati since Tanner Boyd's injury. I thought Chanel was excellent. Yeah. He seemed to have a new lease on life. Creating chances out on that left edge. The running game, obviously 134 meters says it all, but backing up to score the try that he sort of kick-started with Loffy's break. And I thought it was a throwback to that nice little form surge he had early in the year. Good signs. Hopefully keeps it going. Tamati, quiet-ish first half before laying on for Laban, and then second half double is a good bounce back after a quiet fortnight for him. I think if you can get that sort of performance week to week out of the other three, then Charnze's one-dimensional aspects are less magnified. But it's tough.
How good is it getting that performance the week before you come against Panther on a Friday night in Auckland? If we had struggled in the weekend, all of a sudden we're back up on our toes again heading into Friday as fans as well as the team. I bet. This is going to be a ripper. Who's going? There must be a heap of people going to this one. This must be bookmarked by a lot of fans.
I just wanted to lastly on Charnze. This is a great comment from Dean here. Kita loves Charnze's professionalism. Lost the fullback spot, didn't moan, turned up at wing, played really well. Now getting a crack again at fullback. That was his first game at fullback since round 7. Such a team man, not an individual, and that's a great point, because someone with his status in the team, what he's done, it could have been a bit of a body blow for him. He's sat on a bench unused. He's shuffled to the wing, then out of the team again. I don't know if has he played. Don't think he's had played cup yet, but it looked like he wasn't going to play again, but until an injury, and I thought it was a great reward for who is clearly a good team man. Yeah, exactly.
He could have ended up just signing for the Dragons or something. Hacking a sad, but he's hung around. He's got his spot back, and everything is on the up. Oh shit! I'm just gonna stand in the corner here. I need to stretch, boys.
Yeah. Good work, Brad. Get those. Don't let those muscles seize up again.
Exactly.
No real negatives out of that game at all from an individual standpoint. I thought, all I could think of was a couple of times that Kurt Capewell hung onto the ball when he should have shifted it to Leka. But other than that, everyone was magnificent. Guys that have probably been a little bit quiet or had a poor game against the Bulldogs. Aaron Clark was up and about, try involvements, crossfield kicks to set up tries. Great stuff. The debut of Riley Price, our first ever father-son duo. Great moment of club history. Worth mentioning, we have had a mother-son, Lorena and Isaiah Papali'i, and a father-daughter. Ali and Ivana Lautiti, and now father-son. So we've got the complete set. I don't know. Yeah. Just need a mother-daughter one, and that'll be the full spectrum one.
Oh, good. Ow. Yeah. No, it was.
And he looked good too. I thought Riley. Well, Brad, you just take a beat there, mate. I thought Price looked good in a 13-minute cameo. That offload, poke his nose through and get the ball around the corner. That was good sign. What a player to have in your squad, depth-wise. That forward depth, just outstanding. No Dimitri Ford still on the injured list, and to be able to call on guys like that, you've still got Newcorte and co not commanding a spot. So
yeah,
very, very good signs. If we might be a bit thin out wide, but yeah, sorted in the pack.
Yeah, we are. Oh, isn't it weird just feeling so comfortable after a game? We're sitting here, struggling for content all of a sudden.
Nothing to whinge about.
Yeah, Jesus. I'll tell you what, though, it's the first time I've ever seen the Kingz Container Crew player ratings. So many 8s rolling off the bench as well as in the starting team.
I mean, it just couldn't. Felt like I was just throwing out cheap scores, but I honestly looked at everyone's performance, looked at everyone's stats, and couldn't help but give out 8s. Like the 8 button. I could barely see the 8 on the keyboard. It's so worn out after that one.
There's not going to be any difference tonight, is there? There's no changes to us. Do you think? Or what are you thinking, Fonz?
Well, how long's Tane out for?
Well, look. Sounded like maybe only a couple of weeks, but
okay, so he might not be available because there's that decision, and then there's do you persist with Leka into centres? I think the answer is yes, but you've got that question, and then do we continue with Metcalf on the extended bench or get him to play cup because he must be pretty much getting spiderwebs on him now from lack of use.
So it's interesting, and also with New South Wales Cup this weekend is I think it's at 5:15, so directly beforehand there's not really you could play him and chuck him on the bench, but there's not the option to have him ride the bench for NRL and then suit up the next day for New South Wales Cup if he doesn't get a run. So all you people saying team's out, well, we're on desktop here, so you guys are on the app.
Yeah, 2 minutes early.
If you can't wait, then you. What are you doing here?
I'll see if I can find
ready
it.
To read them out. Yeah.
Oh, yep, it's up. I got it.
Oh, you got it. Take us through, Fonz. Your turn.
You want me to do that, Will, or just
go for it, mate.
All right, here we go. So, and I'm always tempted to make stuff up here, but I won't. So fullback is Charnze, and I can see that Tane is named on the bench so that he was apparently available for selection but not picked. Dallin and Loffy are the wingers, as you'd expect. Ali and Leka are your centres. So Leka retained in the number 4 jersey. Chanel and Temare as your halves. No change to the pack that I can see. So you got Fish, Barney, Egan, Capes, Laban, Clark. Bench, so then we've got Healy, Tanner, Morgan Gannon in the 16 jersey, which suggests he's going to get a start. Yeah. And Eddie Eremaya Toeva in 17. So looking at that, you'd think Gannon's there to be edge middle cover because Eddie and Tanner are going to be they're going to be your starting interchange props. Metcalf is still hovering in jersey 18 and Tane in jersey 20. And then extended reserves, you've got Riley Price, Makaya Tafua, and old Adam Pompey. So there it is.
No Dimitri out
by Mulga.
No.
Out injured. Interesting that Gannon would come onto that bench for Price. I mean, Gannon hasn't had a lot of footy. Prices looked outstanding, and obviously, I wonder, why not getting Gannon over instead of Price last weekend? Obviously, Gannon heading back to the UK as well. There's that element, but they obviously still rate him pretty highly if he's in the mix at all. So good on him.
Where's Nakora gone?
That's what I was thinking, Fonz. Exactly. They're just he's fishing trick paper now, isn't he? I don't know what the story is there.
Didn't he captain the New South Wales Cup in their most recent game?
Did he? I don't know. I'm
happy on the weekend, but
looking at the other side of the table, the old Penny Panthers. I'm happy that Jackson Edgar's fullback again. That other guy gives me the shit. So that gives us a little bit of what's that? Liam, what's that fullback usually?
Dylan Edwards.
Dylan Edwards, that's the dude's name.
Well, he was a difference last time we played them.
Yeah, and this Jackson Edgar, he looks like he's got a little fumble or something, and I'm watching him.
Yeah, under the bright lights of Mount Smart and a baying crowd. That's a bit different. He's had a couple of decent games. Probably fairly comfortable wins against Parramatta and who they tail up last weekend.
Raiders 42-18. Yeah,
fairly gentle introduction to the NRL, but this is a step up for him for sure. Should we run through this?
Have you got that team yet? Well, it's up there.
Just so Jackson Edgar, as you mentioned, Brad at fullback, Tom Jenkins, Brian To'o on the wings. How about Tom Jenkins? 28 tries, and there's still 5 rounds to go. I mean, people got barred up over Alex Johnston earlier this year. This is what's getting me all fizzed up as a stats history nerd. 28 tries. He's 10 away from the all-time season try-scoring record, and if he breaks that, I think it would be close to the greatest try-scoring achievement I've ever witnessed. Paul Alamotti, he had a big game, I think on the wing, though, wasn't it, against us? He scored a couple of tries. And Isaac Tungo. So no Casey McLean. Was he out? Did he play last week? Or was he been out for a bit?
He's out for a few weeks. He will be out for a few weeks.
That is a huge a huge one for us. Jack Cogger, he came with Blaze Talangi last week. He's been axed for a bit, although on the bench. Nathan Cleary, Moses Leota, wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man, Freddie Lussick at hooker, Lindsay Smith, Isaiah Papali, Liam Martin, Isaiah Yeo, an all-star back row. Interchange Billy Scott, Scott Sorensen, Liam Henry, Billy Phillips, and the last two on that 6-man bench, Jack Cole, Blaze Talangi, a couple of 5'8", Jesse McLean, Lauren Patia, and Kalani Going on the reserves list. So
Friday night. Here we come.
8 o'clock. Even with a couple of guys out and sort of that Gannon curveball, I'm loving our bench in comparison. There's some clear one-on-one advantages there and disadvantages, but it looks less daunting than it could. No, but McLean and Edwards were the two killers last time for them. They're not there. Obviously, Cleary wasn't there last time, and he's back. But I mean,
Martin and Cleary scare me. That's the two. That Martin's he's a lunatic. That dude, lift doesn't go to the top floor on that kid. He's nuts. And
will it be
otherwise head to head? Looking at that line to line, I'm not super scared of that. Definitely
Martin
not
up against Capewell, I think. Just trying to visualize it. Either way.
That could be a good. Is that full head-to-head state of origin? They'll be used to each other going at each other.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm fired up for this one, boys. Do you think that odds-wise, where do you think they'll land on this one?
I'm no good with this, Fonz. This is your department, mate.
I'd have Penrith favourites. I'd have them at about the McLean. I mean, they're down their hooker, their fullback, and their strike centre.
I like the sound of that, Fonz. Say that again. What are they, Fonz? Who are they missing?
Well, they're hooker, their fullback, and their strike centre. So, beautiful. I don't know. So let's say $150, Will, Penrith?
Yeah, just close to the mark there. Fonzie $1.57. Warriors at 245, 4.5 point start. Total points line of only 40.5. So they're expecting a real low scorer again. Real arm wrestle. Have had some low scorers against the Panthers of late. They've won 11 of their last 12 against us. The only exception, that Magic round win in 2024. That was the only game of the last 12 that we've scored more than 18 points against the Panthers. So they've strangled us out of a lot of games, but we haven't really been blown out by them a lot. Another little sidelight: the Warriors and the Dolphins are the only teams the Panthers haven't scored. Yeah, the Warriors and the Dolphins are the only teams the Panthers haven't scored 30 points or more against in their last 4 games. So if you can piece that one together, but that's not bad. We've, I think we don't have their measure, of course, but we've put up a fight every time we've come up against them of late. And just feels like a massive game all of a sudden now that we're back in form.
Well, it feels like a... Oh, sorry, Fonzie, you go for that, mate.
I was just to say, I've been looking at some of the comments here. There's a couple of good points as well. So obviously Leka at centre means Chanel's your goal kicker. It could come down to whether we're going up in 6s or 4s this week. How do you feel about that with this one?
Well, I don't really rate Pompey as a goal kicker anyway. I think he's just as rocks or diamonds. Chanel, it was good to see him find a bit of form, missed a couple from out wide and then strung a few together. I mean, I'd like, and even Tanner Boyd wasn't kicking to his career strike rate before he got injured. Much rather have him. And then last year we were persisting with Luke Metcalf kicking at 60 something. So it's just become a bit of a pattern that our goal kickers over the last couple of years just perform far worse than their average. Maybe Pompey is the best, but the difference is negligible, I think. So I'm not too worried about that from that Chanel's kicking. Wouldn't you rather have Chanel kicking for your life than that in Pompey, just from a mental perspective?
I reckon I'd rather have Chanel kicking for 20 cents. If it was for my life, I'd probably go Pompey, because I think Pompey wouldn't care either way, whereas Chanel might be
I think Chanel might overthink it, whereas Pompey
if there was something on the line. If there was something on the line.
It wouldn't matter a shit to wet, no. Oh shit! Well, it's going to be a warm, cold week in Auckland this week. 8 o'clock kickoff.
A warm, cold week.
Oh, I mean, sorry, a cool, dry week. Sorry, is what I was to say. It's these ibuprofen speaking. Will I'm not myself, but yeah, a dry, cool week in Auckland. Kickoff, no wind. 8 o'clock Friday and about 9 degrees. So I don't know. Are we just going to have one of these dreary Mount Smart games that you were talking a little bit about a couple of weeks ago, Will?
Yeah, we did.
Got that feeling.
I wonder, but that game against the Dragons, and we talked about it with Honey, that it has Mount Smart has sort of lent itself to some dour games. Our line break average is way down at Mount Smart this year compared to anywhere else. I don't know, but maybe just the intensity. I'm expecting, sort of finals intensity, just the occasion, the fact that it's been touted as a potential grand final preview. Maybe you don't mind that sort of game. I think the Warriors, even if it is a bit of a dour affair, because of the stakes, because of how big of a game it is.
They'll be up.
Yeah, even if it is sort of feels, on the surface as a lower quality game.
I'm starting to take it a bit further than the Mount Smart theory that you were coming up about. Is it the blue jersey theory? Like we went down to the Dogs and did we go good at
something to that?
I don't know.
Are we playing in the
as you're saying about Mount Smart theory?
Well, I think there is something to the Mount Smart thing, to be honest. But they're playing in an Indigenous jersey this week.
Oh, are they?
Isn't that the case? I think so.
Okay, I was wondering when they were planning that. I've seen that come out this week. Jeez, they've got a few jerseys out, don't they, boys? Jeez.
Yeah, this is
Cam George would be lying on his bed, covered in cash, just wriggling around.
It's a nice one though. I like that one. Be good to see
I do
them
too.
and about.
Yeah.
Predictions, boys. Do you think we can get them? It's a huge game in the context of the top four. It would drag us, right back into the minor premiership race. The Panthers and Roosters play each other the following week, so we could be very much right back in it in a week's time if we can just jag this win. But a loss.
Would you guys accept a close loss to these maggots again? I don't want to accept a close loss. Do you?
Well,
I'm sick of saying we're close. I want to beat
I'd accept it as far as,
Would you be cock of the hoop? I think a loss I'll be quite disappointed with. We've got to start beating these dudes sooner or later.
Oh, certainly. But I think we're from where we were, 6 days ago and how we were sort of feeling. That great win on Saturday and something similar to what we served up last time we played the Panthers, at least can show that we're, at the end of the season, we can be competitive. We're not the team that, went there in an elimination final in 2023 and got beaten by 30 points.
Yeah. I mean, last time they didn't have Cleary, so I didn't read into that as much as everyone else did that we got so close, although we played well, but they didn't have their origin players, and in particular, they didn't have Cleary. So if we had a similar game where it was nip and tuck and it came down to a couple of passes in the last 5 minutes this week, I would take a lot more from that than I took from the last one. And I mean, looking at the teams, people say we've got the best forward pack in the game. Well, I reckon their pack and our pack are pretty line up pretty even, except that Wado is a clear standout for us at hooker there, which is good.
Yeah.
On the other hand, they're going to get more out of their kicking game, long kicking game, and probably kick return than we will. So you'd think they're going to have the better of field position if they complete well. And their backline just looks a bit scarier than ours, doesn't it? Even though ours are no slouches there, it just looks kind of a little bit more, I don't know, the right mix of power and speed.
There's definitely danger out there.
Taking Edwards and McLean out of there, though, I think does change it up and
helps a lot. Yeah.
And I think
where do we beat them? What do we do to beat these dudes then? What do we do well as a footy team that's going to be better than Panthers? Or do we have to do they have to have a poor game?
I don't think they have to have a poor game necessarily. I think we've got to make more meters than them, as that first key metric said last week. Now we're 13-0 when we make more meters, 0-6 when we don't. So at least matching them in that department, and particularly because we, almost certainly don't have the kicking meters that they do with Cleary. That's the key.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be all the normal things, but really good line speed getting up because they're going to be a little bit slow out of hooker. Like Freddie Lussick's service is going to be a little bit slow out of hooker, so try and use that to slow down their roll through the middle. Try and smash the hell out of that fullback, and get him
really put him under the pump.
Put him under the pump, make him get his ribs real hard, real early, and get him sort of looking, maybe get a couple of errors out of him, and certainly make him think twice about running hard back. And just make sure we don't have one of those games where we don't make a lot of errors. We hold the ball, the offload stick, and we might find ourselves in the last 10 minutes with a try either way in it and a hell of a game.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I like the sound of all that. Where do you get to watch this properly this week, Fonzie, or are you at another birthday party?
No, mate. No, when I say birthday party, it was a 4-year-old's party, right? So I don't think I was having a good time. So this is 6 o'clock Friday, so that's a good time. I'll be watching it at home with the boys, who are pretty pumped for it. Actually, they're getting into this season in a big way, and they're ready for finals. I keep saying to me, when the finals going to start? But
is that right?
But this is a big one. Going to be a big one in the household.
Yeah, awesome.
telling them not to stay away from ladder predictions. You've been sort of getting that in early, telling them not to read too much into the ladder yet. And
they check the ladder all the time.
He'll grind your gears.
Yeah.
Only our third game at Mount Smart in 3.5 months. So,
whoa,
one that we want to make count. We've talked a lot about the draw, how it's front loaded and back loaded with Mount Smart games, and we only have 9 at Mount Smart this year. And the last 2 we play at Mount Smart. So this is a rare game at home before another fortnight on the road against Brisbane and Souths. But would be good to make this one count. And hopefully they're up for it, because the last couple have been a bit flat at Mount Smart. The only ones since mid-April, that 10-8 loss to Cronulla. A lot of people were pretty happy with that one. I felt a bit flat after that one, and especially being a loss. And then 20-12 of the Dragons was flat as a pancake, and probably a bit fortunate in the end. So hopefully can see a bit more for that sellout home crowd. Could be the biggest one of the year. Looking at it, the biggest was that Cronulla game. Was that one? 24,938. Just an interesting stat, boys, that I uncovered today. Thinking about getting those big crowds for Titans games. That was the third biggest Titans Warriors crowd on the weekend, 25,181. The 2 higher ones were both at that ground as well. The past 8 matches between them, all more than 20,000 crowds, and that is a record for a Warriors rivalry. The most, the next best was 6 straight matches with 20,000 plus for the Broncos Warriors between 2009 and 11. But it's a great draw. And they did it well over there on the weekend.
I think a few Kiwis shifted over to the Goldie, over time. I think if
you reckon?
Sort of headed
have you heard that through the
I don't know. It won't be all of that support base, but I think I don't know where I've read that. I'll catch it up on next week. I'll fill you in where I knew that from. Out there, Gold Coast, how are we pumping up their coffers, putting a bit of putting some piss across their friggin' bars and that over there, eh? Good. They should really bow down to us a bit.
Great stuff, boys. I just want another couple of bits and bobs from the stats piece that was published on thiswarriorslife.com today. For and against is now 200 plus 226, creeping up on the all-time points differential to finish the season was plus 236 in 2002 when we took out the minor premiership. So very much in contention for that. If we maintain our points per game average, would get to 679 points in the regular season. That's only 9 points less than 2002 teams. And then, our average of 16.42 points per game conceded, if we maintain that, it'll pretty much be bang on our record low, which was in 2011, the other grand final season. So we're keeping pace with our benchmark
Fonzie
teams in Warriors history.
Looks like old Pinky's going to Japan without you, mate.
Oh, man.
Oh, wow.
And one more, boys. I'm absolutely loving our wingers. Dallin and Loffy, great again on the weekend. 6th time that they've both scored in a game and just in 11 games together. They're also bearing down on the record for the most tries in a season by a wing pairing at the Warriors. 31 tries they've got between them this year. The record is 35 with Dallin and Marcelo Montoya a couple of years ago. So, history looming for this combination.
Have you boys been watching this Nico Hines kicking run he's on at the moment? Record run?
No.
He's close. He's got 32 in a row.
Second highest in the NRL history.
Yeah, 3 away from what's his name? That little fella, Hazem El Masri. Yeah, but he got 8 in a game and 11 in another game in the last couple of weeks. Hines, so it's a credible run. Dallin and all the wingers, they're going to get that record, aren't they?
Surely they could have it by the end of the weekend, or maybe next weekend. But Brad, the Nico Hines streak. just leads me on quite nicely to this week's PlaceMakers.
They call that a
segue. Thanks, mate. We didn't even talk about it. It was just got an ESP thing going.
Unagi.
Yeah. So this week's PlaceMakers Legend of the Week is none other than the great sharpshooter, Michael Witt. And Michael Witt is far more than a dangerous in-goal showboating in a qualifying final to win a game. He was one of the great Warriors goal kickers, and in a season that he so Brad asked me what's our greatest streak, and it belongs to this man. Michael Witt had stints at Manly and Parramatta. He's actually from Toowoomba, but lobbed up with us in 2007. He wasn't even the goal kicker at the start of the year. Tony Martin was, until he got injured. They chucked the tee to Michael Witt. Just went and kicked 26 straight goals as soon as he started. Warriors record. So just one more than Ivan Cleary's 2002 record. He kicked 25 in a row in 2002. So Michael Witt, the owner of that record now, on his way to what was then a premiership record, 92.5% goal kicking percentage for the season. That was eclipsed by Michael Gordon at Penrith a couple of years later, but I believe that Michael Witt is still in second spot of all time. He was just unbelievable, 62 from 67. Wouldn't mind those kind of figures. One of our boys now, we're flat out getting 3 in a row with our goal kickers at the moment.
Side story, Toowoomba. What did you say he's from Toowoomba?
Yeah.
I remember when I was about 8, we were in Punakaiki. It's a little place on the west coast. Up Puny on the beach one day, and I found some Toowoomba League shorts. And I told everyone for as long as I can remember, probably 10 years, that they must have floated over from Australia. Like, not as an 8-year-old, not realizing there's this thing called tourists that go swims and leave things. So yeah, I had these Toowoomba League shorts that floated over from Australia when I was 8. Yeah,
Toowoomba, a long way from the coast too, by the way, probably.
I fully thought they had just floated like a message in a bottle. That was all my
blown off someone's line.
Yeah. I was from Greymouth, man. I didn't know about planes and boats and shit.
Michael Witt obviously went on to play in those 2 final series in 2007 and 8. Had a great combination of Grant Ravelli, scored that try that we talked about in that qualifying final to win that one at Olympic Park in Melbourne. And then, quite amazingly, was sort of surplus to requirements. He left for Otago Rugby Union before the start of the next season.
Yeah.
With Stacey Jones coming back, and Grant Ravelli actually got moved on as well, and Nathan Feng wasn't long for the club either. So it was a bit of a strange changing of the guard. He came back went and played for Celtic Crusaders in Super League and London for a couple of years too. So he played about 85 games in Super League over 4 seasons. Didn't really do much in his Otago rugby stint. Came back and played 4 games for the Dragons in 2014. And that was him. Now I think he's in real estate back in Queensland, and great fella by the sounds of it. Well, actually, I interviewed him for the Warriors 25-year book, and he is a great fella. But I've seen him on Ruin Hammer's podcast, long form interview, and very nice chat. Yeah,
he was one of my favourites when he was around, trudging around for our team. I really enjoyed it. And that was the last time I ever seen him play footy live, was down here in Dunedin, him coming off the bench for Otago.
Oh, really?
NBC Rugby, yeah.
So 2 seasons only. It felt like it's here for longer. 43 games, 291 points, and one of our best ever goal kickers. Just an aside to that record that he holds, the best since was Sean Johnson, 21 straight goals in 2013. So it's pretty handy little streak. I reckon I'm back in Chanel. Chanel, we've talked about this a lot before that. Fateful kick in Canberra. He was an 80% kicker. He was superb. So I think he's got it in him. I'm backing him in. I think he's the man for the job. But Michael Witt, this week's PlaceMakers Warriors Legend of the Week.
Who is the next man up in the squad at the moment for kicking?
Yeah, well, Tane is a very handy kicker, but he's obviously not on the team at the moment.
Good question.
Tamati, I don't know. I feel like Tamati was a bit of a jack of all trades. But yeah, you're starting to get a little bit.
Is that why they've brung Gannon on the bench?
Can Dallin Topo come in?
Yeah, mate. Surely that would be his MO from the tee.
Just get Barney to step up and do it if needs must. But
oh shit!
Oh dear.
What else you got for us, Will?
Can I just ask? Michael Witt would be in the grand final of best looking Warriors of all time, wouldn't he?
Yeah, pretty handsome bloke.
He was a centerfold, wasn't he? Cleo centerfold. Glamour model.
Yeah, that does ring a bell, actually.
It does ring a bell.
He was a glamour model. One sexiest man in league, all that kind of jazz.
Yeah.
Surprised you didn't get into that, Will, when you went through.
Yeah.
Well,
he's pretending he doesn't know those stats.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Poster's just up behind me in the corner. A couple of other bits and bobs, boys. Looking at the NRLW team list as well this week, and looks like there's no changes except for Stacey Waka and Taisha Ekanasio trading places for centre to wing. Now, I don't know if you guys watched this one on the weekend, and if there was a real missed opportunity in Magic round there. I thought they were pretty dreadful for 2/3 of that game, then clicked into gear. Gail Broughton and Mully Hufanga especially carving up. Great to see Melly get a try on club debut, ground away, and then a brilliant try to Stacey Waka. Geez, she's an unbelievable talent, latching onto that kick in the corner, brought it back to within 2 points. They're running downhill, had a few opportunities, and just completely went to their pretty limp right side attack with crash plays on fifth tackles when the obvious play was going out to Broughton and Hufanga and Waka on the right, trying to conjure something out there, and lost the game to the Titans 18-16. Yeah, disappointing. But, I thought, the way the majority of the game went, it felt like they, could have lost by 16-20.
Yeah, I missed the end of the game because I had an appointment. But the start, that was a tough watch. There wasn't much happening. It was flat and pretty boring, to be honest. So what's happening this week? Waka, is she coming into centre or is shifting out to wing?
Yeah, so she's moving into centre with Ekanasio heading out to the wing. Not sure what's happened to our 4-try hero from a few weeks ago. She must be on the injured list as far as the wings go. But, so we got Newcastle this week, which should be a tough go. One of the sort of heavyweights, Ron Griffith, our coach's old team, he's taken them to NRLW titles. They are also 3-2, but I think with a fair bit more probably quality in there, or sort of origin quality in their lineup. We really need the most out of Broughton, Hufanga and co. Fords are going good. Really loving the work of Harata Butler's outstanding.
Yeah.
Lauatiti try on the weekend on her 20th birthday, no less. So happy birthday and congratulations. Speaking of birthdays, Christian Catley yesterday, Warriors content creation icon, 30th birthday. It was
the big 3-0 big fella. Happy birthday, Christian.
Congratulations, Christian, mate.
Yeah, sweet.
But big game. It's at Mount Smart, is it? Must be.
Friday as well? It's Friday night.
No, it's in Hamilton on Saturday, 7:15. So Warriors Premiership games back-to-back days, 7:15 Saturday night. Warriors.
That women's Magic round was well supported, I thought, in the weekend. They had a good crowd there, especially because it looked like they were in the middle of nowhere. It was like Coachella, wasn't it? Where the hell's Wagga Wagga, man? Christ, there's nothing in the background, just a short walk to the CBD. There is nothing. It just was like the moon.
Yeah, it is. It is down the Riverina there and way inland, but there was nothing anywhere near the ground. I would have thought that their footy ground would be the centerpiece of town in Wagga Wagga. They love their league.
I would like to see the camera looking the other way. Maybe it was like the pyramids in Egypt. You know how they're out there, and then you look behind you, and it's the city. Yeah, but it looked funny. But good on you, all the people that got out and supported it, because there was plenty of people there and it looked like a carnival atmosphere. So congrats.
Well, Wagga Wagga's exactly halfway between Sydney and Melbourne. So it's historically been the frontier between the league and the AFL universe. That's the border, Wagga Wagga.
Is it?
Yeah.
So educate me more. What size is this joint, Fonzie? Is it tens of thousands or? Yeah,
it'd be tens of thousands. Big. It's on the Murray River through there. Look, I'm talking a bit of shit here, but it's on the river down there, well irrigated. A lot of fruit growing, a lot of agriculture. Good part of the world. And it's literally
57,000 people. Just by the by, 57,000, Brad.
Wonder where they live. Didn't they live anywhere near that field? Jesus.
Yeah. And they've got an incredible sporting heritage. Steve Mortimer, rugby league wise, all the Mortimers. Jamie Soward, Peter Sterling grew up in Wagga. Wayne Carey and Aussie Rules, Paul Kelly, and Michael Slater, Mark Taylor.
No shit.
Yeah. A few Wallabies, a few tennis legends. Yeah.
Good on you, Wagga Wagga.
Nothing else to do out there.
Kids in sport stay at a court, eh?
Boys, I did want to talk about the ComfortGlaze lower grade teams.
How did they go after all my injuries? I missed a lot of that this weekend.
Well, they had the bye, Brad, so you didn't miss anything. But good to know that you were on the ball there and knew that they had the bye and weren't missing out on your obligations because you had appointments. They could have been in a grand final and you had no idea.
I would have known if it was a grand. Go on, give me that. You maggot. Anyway, who have they got this weekend, Will? I'll be interested.
So, it's a Panthers galore this weekend. So, New South Wales Cup, that kicks off at 5:15 at Mount Smart Stadium on Friday. Big game. They lead the competition, the Panthers, and the Warriors on a 3-game winning streak and pushing towards that top 5. We're tied for 4th, but 6 on for and against. So a big game. Got a bit of a free hit against Manly the week after. They've only won 1 game, and then we've got a couple of tough games with other teams ahead of us. So big game against the Panthers for New South Wales Cup boys. The Warriors flag team, they're coming off a couple of losses and down to 8th or 9th. Their finals prospects don't look so good, and they play. The Panthers are 3rd in the flag. That game's at midday on Saturday at Trust Stadium. So good luck to our lower grade boys. Question, Brad?
For the New Zealand viewers too, that New South Wales Cup game is on Sky at 5:10.
Is it?
Prior to the Warriors game coverage starting at 7. So that's good. You can get home and 5 o'clock. It's live footy in the bar. Oh, this is going to be a big Friday.
Nice.
I feel.
Big Friday.
That comes right, mate. Because I might get me dancing shoes on.
You might just need to, just combine some of those painkillers and muscle relaxers with a couple of ciders, Brad, and you'll be away, mate. Just on that New South Wales Cup team, I'd head to thiswarriorslife.com for a bit of a breakdown on the run home and the season to date. But because we've been kind of a bit, I guess, not surprised or disappointed, but obviously last year we set the pace and we're leading all season, smashed them and the Dragons in the grand final, won the state championship in a canter. But looking at that team that won everything last year, they lost Kalani going, Seto to NGT, Ed Cossey, Bunty Afar, Tom Arley and Freddie Lussick, all the other NRL teams. Then they've lost Tane Tuapiki, Tanner Boyd, Sam Healy, Tanner Stowers Smith, who were all regulars for them last year. Now they're NRL regulars. And you can chuck Eddie into that mix as well. He's intermittent first grader as well. So that's like most of their team. So the fact that they've, sort of pushing up and around. I know they've had a few NRL boys that are out of favour for us. They've got them now. But, it certainly hasn't been as much continuity as they enjoyed last year. So well done to David Tangata-Toa and his team for, I would say a really good title defence.
Yeah, shit, blooming success can be really tough on those New South Wales Cup teams, can't they? They can get raped and pillaged real quick and end up having to
well, that
rebuild
team
from
certainly
nothing again.
did.
Yeah,
And that's the aim. You want those guys coming through, and
correct.
And it's a measure of how successful that was, that we do have all these guys that we love having in first grade now.
You'd be a bit iffy if you had a New South Wales Cup team that's won for the last 10 seasons, and you hadn't won anything top grade.
Yeah.
That's not how it sort of works. If they win there, they sort of get spread around.
Now, P-Shake has, I've totally forgotten about this, but it's a great point.
Yeah.
Mitch Barnett, he's got some of the best goal kicking form of any Warrior. He's kicked 16 goals for Newcastle. At a fairly decent clip, actually.
Yeah, there was another viewer at 625, AWS 4 times, blah, 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 saying the same things. And Barnett can kick, which is why he's probably looks so sharp, that chip and chase.
That chip and chase, yeah. Well,
natural.
I think if it doesn't work out for Chanel, or if he has to go off injured, then maybe we won't see Barney take over.
Barney, that'd be something to see, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Well, it'll just about do us, boys. What do you reckon?
Was that a podcast?
Yeah.
Yep, sounds good.
Probably loosely classified as one, I reckon.
Still awake over there, Fonz?
I mean, I had to go back to work, so I had to put you on silent.
Double dipping, love it. Yeah. Love your work, Fonz.
Yeah, no, good point, mate. We'll do a deck on that. Yep.
Yeah. Nice one, boys. Thanks for that. Thanks to Kingz Container Crew, PlaceMakers, No Ugly, ComfortGlaze, and everyone out there, especially our wonderful subscribers. Get to thiswarriorslife.com for more content, and enjoy Friday. She's going to be an absolute beauty. See you on there. Take care of yourselves and each.